You are listening to BRTV podcast series brought to you by brilliantread.com in partnership with Bansal Foods, AAI Editors, ID3 Private Limited, Career Shala and Market Shala.
All right, guys, welcome to BRTV podcast. I'm your host Harsh Tiwari, and this week we have with us a very passionate entrepreneur, Manav Bhanot, who combined his love and passion for football into a venture which is called Sock Base Private Limited. Is that right, Manav?
Yes, it's absolutely right. Yeah.
Perfect. So please talk us through your journey, Manav. How did the idea come to your mind, and why did you start something like this?
So basically, it was I was in Europe and I was playing there professionally in the third division. So the kind of structure they have and they play about that. That's very interesting. They have
Right.
a perfect structure to go through, and unfortunately, we don't have the same structure here.
Right.
So I learned from him most of the things, and that came to me like I should do this in my country. So I just dropped out of the university and just came back to start this thing. So it's a very daring thing to do, but on the same time, it's very interesting. Like it gives me a different type of kick. So I decided to do this thing on my own. So that was the thing.
Great. So you were just 22. You shared with us earlier, and so why did you choose entrepreneurship over a job? You could have easily joined a corporate job and pursued a life that way. But why did you choose to pursue entrepreneurship? Please share with our audience.
Yeah. Basically, entrepreneurship doesn't like come to me like I wanted to do this like since childhood or essay. It was
Right.
not like that.
Uh-huh.
It came to me all of a sudden, like just clicked in my mind like that.
Right.
But the basic factor is that I was in sports since childhood, so there was I need to feel a kick inside me when I when I do something in
Right.
a normal job and thing. I don't feel such. I tried, obviously tried that. I was not good at any kind of job or something. I feel like someone is sitting on my head and just telling me to do things like that. That's just don't go with me. So I decided to, I firstly tried my own venture in Europe.
Okay.
So I was just made a website, and I just go with the car wash thing.
Mhm.
Because in Europe there different spaces in car washes there. You have to go in your car and then go to the car wash, and then you can just give them 20 euros and then they will wash your car. It's like proper mechanism and everything.
Right.
But what I did, I just take my friends, some of them, I wrote envelopes like proper of them on the pages, and I put all of them around my neighborhood in the mailboxes of the people, like outside the houses. And I just wrote that my name is Manav Bhanot. If you want you to wash your car at your home, just call me and I will only charge you 5 euros.
Right.
So the mechanism, they were charging 20 and I was charging 5. And I was going to their home. They don't need to go anywhere.
Right.
So that spread like fire. So after that, I felt that yes, this is my thing. I can do this. And then there was no idea I was getting about that thing, but I was not so serious about this. But then I, realized one of my friends in India,
Mhm.
there's a very serious thing about football. He was trying to get into the national football team, but he didn't, get through it. So he told me the challenges, and I was also facing the challenges. So a person who is think is the only one who can solve the problem.
Makes sense.
So I decided like this is my thing, and I was working in forex as well. I worked in the forex industry, so that was also didn't give me a kick and something like that. I was just ready to do just launch. That's why I chose entrepreneurship. Is just the challenges I face. I love the challenges. I love the struggles that feel. There's no everything every day you have something to go. अरे यार ये रह गया, अरे ये करना है, ये होना चाहिए. So that's the thing.
Perfect. So it'd be wise to say that it is the fire in you that led you to pursue entrepreneurship and not a job, because entrepreneurship would offer you everything that a sports person would like. right? I mean, a football fan or football player would like. So you need that kick to drive you every single morning, right?
Yeah. It's just the simplicity. Like I will connect both of them. For me, the both of them are the same. When I usually get to the field, we have a lot of players. We have 22 players in one field and one ball. So we have to, apply our mind each and every second. In entrepreneurship, we can, turn the things up. Like if you do a mistake, we can go back and just change the mistake. We can try again. But in football, you have 90 minutes. If you miss the ball is gone, and maybe they will score a goal against you. So it's so fast and so exciting to play in that moment. You get so much heated. That's what entrepreneurship is all about nowadays, because you have the opportunity, you have to just grab it in a moment. So that's why it's the main thing.
Being a football player and football fan myself, I can relate to what you're saying. I can absolutely relate to it, and I am also a kind of person who loves the thrill, the dopamine factor that's involved there, the kick that you get. So I can absolutely relate to it, and so can our audience. I hope. So share with us, Manav, some of the challenges that you faced in the journey so far. I know you shared with me on a personal note earlier that you had to, encounter a lot of challenges, right? Your parents were also not very supportive of the idea, right? And despite that, despite that, you defied all odds, and you decided to pursue something that you really love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, when I was in Europe, I decided to came back. That was the most difficult thing to do in like in the most like difficult situation, because it takes a lot of money to go to abroad and study in the university.
Yes,
And I was the only one who made the decision to drop out Delhi University and then go to the American university there. So it was my decision, and then I came back. So that was the most, disheartened thing, or the जो धोखा लग गया घर वालों को kind of thing happened to them.
it takes a lot of determination and gut to be able to do that. Everyone can do it.
No.
I mean, they just wish कि वो बाहर जाएं और पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, and then they have their parents' expectations. So you defied everything, and that's a really courageous step, I would say.
And according to that, my father also had a loan of my study loan, which I had to repay. And then I decided there was a lot of things, a problem over a problem over a problem. It was like a tower of problems against me. But I was at that time that अगर तूने अभी ये ना किया ना, you will be regretting your whole life. Because if you will waste 2 years more here in the university and get a degree which will not lead you to anything, maybe a 50,000 rupees job, or maybe a maximum 2 lakh rupees job a month, but there is a limit. You are staying at it. So why are you doing this? So I said, just अगर है तो अभी है. I called my father and I told him everything, and I was expecting a lot of negative things and everything, but he just said कि कोई बात नहीं बेटा, जैसे तेरा मन कर रहा है तू कर ले. And I was very shocked at that moment. He is understanding the point of time. And regarding each and everything, I was very shocked, because from the beginning, my father and I had a very serious kind of relationship, what father and son would have. But my father always used to, tell me that don't play. फुटबॉल में स्कोप नहीं है, मेरे रिलेटिव्स फुटबॉल में स्कोप नहीं है, इसमें स्कोप नहीं है, उसमें स्कोप नहीं है. And they used to, sit around me, all of them, in the circle, and I was sitting in between. And they used to, just bashing the bullets. हाँ, अरे वो तू पढ़ ले, ये वो कर ले. And that was the most difficult thing. Oh my God, it was very difficult. I'm just the finances, the idea, the presentations, investors, PPT. These are nothing in the comparison of what I faced before,
Right.
or what I faced in my earlier life to get to this stage, to get to the decisions, to get to this, gut level and all these things. But the main moment I changed my life was when I was in Europe and I faced financial difficulties there. I went there, somebody stole my money in the starting first month. So I was with no money left. I was sleeping on the streets. I was eating one meal a day. In a whole day, there was a croissant, a chocolate croissant. There, it was of €2. Yeah, so I used to buy that and a water bottle because water is also very costly there,
To
more
survive,
than beer.
I understand.
So I just drink water and ate that croissant, which is of maida. So it फूल जाता है वो stomach में जाके. तो ऐसा लगता है पेट भरा हुआ है. So I used to eat that a whole 1 month, and there was no electricity at my house. There was no water availability at my house. I need to take bath in the malls, in the washrooms. When the mall opens,
Right.
just opens. It opens 9 a.m. and I have to go there because there is no one there right now. I was there and I used to charge my phones in the bathroom of the malls. There is a socket. And used to chat with my family. And when my family said that at that time, just come back because it's not, you will, destroy yourself. Because I was so thin at that time. I was not eating anything. My health was very weak. They told me just come back. And one day I was sitting on the, the shore side, like on the beach at
Mhm.
night because I was sleeping there. Because there's, like it was summers at that time. And on the beach side, there's a lot of heat. You can't sleep in the house if there is no electricity, no fan, no AC. It's just impossible. So I was sleeping on the beach. Like there are, the वो seats होती हैं जिसके ऊपर umbrellas लगे होते हैं. I was sleeping on that thing. And at that time, I thought if I face these challenges and I overcome them, then there's nothing in my life I can't do. Because this is the most deadliest time I have ever seen. Like, because food is the most necessary thing in life, the water, everything. So I, agreed to stay back, and just face the challenges. And I overcome them. I got selected in the football team after I found a job, So everything, I was just on the streets. And the other month, I was on the 5th floor of the apartment. So I did this on my like whole self, like खुद से किया सब कुछ ये. I used to go to the shops, like beg them for money sometimes कि हाँ नहीं है आप मुझे एक और इसमें दे दो खाने के लिए. Then I used to tell them कि एक काम दे दो मुझे, okay I will आपके containers उठा के मैं रख दिया करूँगा trucks में. I used to load them. In some restaurants I used to clean chairs and tables and everything like that. So it
Right.
happened a lot of things, but that gave me that feeling that yes, anything is possible in life and I can do wonders according to that. And that thing that I used to study on the streets about entrepreneurship because I
Right.
was very excited in that thing that yes, a company, then how to form a company, what is shares, what are benches, and all these things. I used to study in the light of a departmental store at night using the Wi-Fi because in Europe they don't turn off the lights of any departmental stores or anything. They used to keep them on because of the the just passing down the street and everything. This should see what is inside that. So I was studying under that light, like literally. My father used to told me that हम ऐसे पढ़ा करते थे, but I literally have done that. So it was like that. Yeah. So these
Right.
are some challenges I usually faced about that thing.
So you've really experienced the lows of your life when
Yeah.
you've hit the rock bottom there,
The
and
most bottom a person can ever have in life. The lowest. Yeah.
right. Perfect. So I mean, you've learned a lot of lessons from your journey so far, right? So tell us about the way forward with Sockbase, Manav. I mean, what is the business model that you follow? How does Sockbay help the clients or its customers? Just give us a brief about that, please.
Yeah. So what Sockbase does, like, it's my motive is to make the every every child or every boy or girl who is playing on the streets even
Right.
कि उनका कुछ भी waste ना हो. Like if they are playing,
Right.
they should get everything out of it because it's not only the joy they are playing with. They also
Right.
play with that they want to win this game. Every one of us want to win their own game. So I want that their everything should be with us. If they score a goal or if they hit a sixer or if they do anything about that. In our model, we will have each and everything recorded of each and every player who is playing under our application or model. So
Right.
basically, we will take them from the streets to the football stadiums and hopefully to the Indian football national team. What I dream of.
Right.
Yeah, because it is the only way we can do this. Authorization, I don't claim them that they're wrong. The authorities, the sports authorities, I don't take them to the negative level that they're not doing this thing or not. They can't do each and everything. We have to do it on ourselves as well. वो अब हर जगह जाके वो बच्चों को नहीं देख सकते हैं एंड हर जगह बच्चा भी नहीं पहुंच सकता है बट I was facing in my childhood, I was living in a very small city. I was living in Mandi Govindgarh in Punjab
Right.
after Saharanpur. So there was only one ground to play, and there was nothing. There was no one to see us. There was no one to, do anything. What I was facing is I have to go to Chandigarh every weekend to just play so that someone can see me, because all the bigger scouts, all the good people, or the higher authorities are in big cities, in Delhi, in Chandigarh, or in Mumbai or Bangalore, in these metropolitan cities. Basically, we will say the most crowded and capitals basically. So what my aim is, if a person is also living in a village, he should be recognized through a platform, so that we can show the higher authorities कि तुम अपने घर बैठो, we will just send you the CVs of the players who is playing on the streets, but yes, they has potential. So basically our model is to make each and every player count, at least to give them the opportunity that they deserve it or not.
That's impressive. Brilliant. So,
Yeah.
right, and as you are aware, there is a lot of talent available in our country. And in every corner of the society, you'll find a player who has ordinary skills. So it's great that through Sockbase you're trying to solve that massive problem. And I wish you all the best. I just wish that people or your students who are part of your venture, get selected for the national team and many as possible. So that's a really good venture and great idea that you're working on, Manav. Right. So we wish you very, very best on behalf of our team. What is your advice for all the aspiring entrepreneurs who wish to pursue their idea, or they are working on their idea and they are just scared, or let's say they're not sure, they're confused whether or not they should do it. So what's your advice to all of these people?
See, my advice is just be courageous. That's the most simple thing you can do, and that's the most difficult thing as well. But you have to do only one thing. You have to just go and do it.
Right.
You don't have to think about getting failed or getting recognized or getting the most of it, that you will make a lot of money. And this should be not your, the main focus. That because entrepreneurship is a fancy thing, it's give you a lot of things, the fame and everything, but you should majorly focus on what are you trying to do and what is the reason behind it. That will give you, a forever motivation kind of thing, that you should keep going, because it's an emotional attachment with your idea. कि हाँ ये तो करना ही पड़ेगा, ये तो होना ही चाहिए. And just be courageous about it. कोई कुछ बोलता रहे, आपको करना है. And if someone do anything or tells you, if you fail as well, just see how you failed. Just clear that thing, that yes, this was my mistake before. I have to change it this way, and do that thing according to you. What are you facing and what have you done before? So just my simple and one thing is, you have to have a lot of guts to get into entrepreneurship, a lot of guts, and just don't leave it, because more the guts, more the risk, more the reward. That's the main thing. You will get a lot of rewards in the future, and it is like कुछ तो set हो जाएंगे यार, तुम एक बार हिम्मत तो करो.
As they say that if you're courageous, if you're very passionate about it, and you take action, rest of the things would fall into place.
Everything will fall into place. That's what happened to me basically. I was, doing everything on my own since now. Since even childhood, I'm doing everything on my own because there's no one to support me. You know, my mom used to give me, little money. कि तू ऐसे कर ले, don't buy those shoes, don't buy Nike shoes, just buy the Nivea वाले shoes जो 450 के हैं वो ले ले. I have never weared a Nike stud in my life. Even I went to Europe as well. Like मुझे वो पहनने का मौका तक नहीं मिला यार. And I was not कि नहीं. I was like I want my name on that shoe. They have to sponsor me and like one day they have to sponsor me. Just think big. When I got failed in my 11th standard, I thought to myself that yes, I'm now in the category of Cristiano Ronaldo and Sachin Tendulkar because they also failed in 10th standard. So that was a psychotic thing to think it at that time. But somehow it helped me to reach here.
And because of your dream, your passion, since you were that passionate, you ended up playing for a recognized European football club, didn't you?
And that also just came to my way automatically. My parents were planning to move me to US. So
Right.
my US visa rejected. I don't know how it got rejected. My England visa rejected, my New Zealand visa rejected, my Canadian visa rejected, and suddenly the European visa got applied. So that's the main thing. You have to just be so much dedicated to that thing that I want that and I just want that. There is no option B for me. There is nothing I can do without that thing. I just breathe and eat, and I want to make my life like that. Then everything will come to you at some point. That happens, and that do happens with me as well. अभी तक होता है ये, some finances, maybe some problems in entrepreneurship. I get through all of that.
It does, yeah. It happens with everyone. And, pretty relatable it is. Yes. So, and like I said, I mean, you're doing a really good job. Thanks for empowering our youth, in the players who want to go big. It's good to see that Stockbase has been doing a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
So
We are planning to launch our app in just a month after a month, and then we will see everyone on the field.
absolutely. I mean, we wish you all the very best. And on behalf of our team here, thank you very much for taking time out for this podcast. It's been a really meaningful and insightful conversation with you, Manav. Thank you very much again.
Yeah. Thank you.
It is a constant endeavor at BRTV to bring stories, advice, lessons, and mantras from successful entrepreneurs, coaches, and mentors. So stay tuned. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and follow us on all the social media channels to stay updated and stay motivated.